Okay folks, when I drafted last night, just going to give you some deck tech here. This is the few cards off the sideboard that I thought mattered. Wall of Vines came in 2 of the rounds, Fog came in 1 round. Heartless Thing didn't come in at all, but I had it there. It probably could have come in 1 round. Same with the Guard, should have come in 1 particular round, didn't. Naturalized came in 2 rounds. So Wall of Vines came in 2 rounds, and the Fog 1 round. So Wall of Vines is definitely main deckable, but you know, it depends on how many good cards in your deck, and I had quite a few. That's why I won first place. Green was very open, so I got 1 Land of Werewolf in the one drops and a Diminish splashed. Basically, green with 5 blue cards. So Diminish was huge. The turns I got a turn 1 land. With games I got a turn 1 Land of Werewolf, I won every time. 2 champions. Obviously good. I got them second turn a couple of times. These guys I got more in second turn. Boom. Playset of Rangers. That's right, a playset. I was getting these 8th pick and I was like, okay, green is open. That's the way I'm going. Because I had a couple good white cards, a couple good red cards in the first pack, a couple good green cards, and like a 4C. And at the end, basically, I had a couple good red, couple good white, couple good blue, but the blue was a little better, so I took more blue here and there. Green was obvious by the end of the first pack. I was into green when I saw those signals. Because of these guys, because I had a playset, I only ran 16 land in a 2-color deck. A 2-color deck that's really top heavy. I've got as many cards that cost 4 and over as I do cards that cost less than 4. And yet I ran 16 lands, 2 colors. But never got mana screwed once because of these guys and because of some blue card draw. Ice Cage and Natural Spiral are 2 of the spells in the 2 slot. Natural Spiral and the Wall of Vines were kind of duking it out for who made the cut. But a couple other cards in the deck work good with Natural Spiral. And it works really good with Ice Cage because Ice Cage, say they use a crappy removal to knock the Ice Cage off, or an creature enchant knock the Ice Cage off. Well, Natural Spiral gets the Ice Cage back to put it back on, so you don't get 2 for 1 in the process, which is kind of nice. And they lose their enchantment back again. I never did that at all this tournament, but I thought that would be good. I did. Natural Spiral was huge though. I'll talk about that in a second. My only 3 drop, it was a good one. Second pick, Crystal Ball. Every time it hits, it's huge. 4 drops. I managed to get 1 Giant Spider. Another one didn't table because other people noticed how open green was and started taking it. Juggernaut. Absolutely huge. Whenever it hits the table, it's so good. They gotta deal with it. Strongbox, I really like. It's an easy card draw. I mean, if you gotta invest 8 mana into it over a couple of turns for 3 cards in any color deck, in draft, that's pretty good. And if you gotta invest more than 8 mana, then you're so unlucky, you're probably not supposed to win that game anyways. If you have the spare mana to do it every turn, then who cares? However, my deck is so strong, and I had so much card draw, and I'll get to look at that in a second, that this came out. Whenever I sideboarded in, that was always one of the cards that came out, because whenever I needed to slow the game down, which is what these are for, or like a lot of flyers, or need to really slow the game down, or there's a lot of artifacts and stuff, then that had to come in. Oh, there should be a plummet here somewhere too. There's another 2-drop. There was a main deck plummet. Oh, there it is. It's underneath on my land. Yeah, see? There's a plummet. I knew I had a plummet in there. I forgot all about it. That was huge. I could use it. I could use it every round. Every round had at least 1 flyer. I main decked it because I thought I had limited removal, and I did. Diminish and plummet, Ice Cage, and in my opinion, the best removal in the whole set. I'll get to that in a second. 2 4C. So there's 2 amazing card draw. Really happy with those. They're huge. One game I didn't play them because I drew so many cards off another card. I'm about to show you that I had end of the game with Crystal Ball out too. I had a deck of 1 Ranger and like 6 lands and 2 4C in my hand. I didn't play them, and I'll show you why in a second. 1 Spine Worm, 1 Greater Basilisk, 2 Groot Pack Leader. That's right, 2. And guess what? There were probably 3 or 4 games I had double Groot Pack Leader out. And when you have double Groot Pack Leader out, and you play a dude, you draw a lot of cards. That was what happened in the game where I had 2 4Cs. I almost decked myself. I swung in with Pack Leaders hoping he'd kill one, because I knew they'd trade at least, right? I wouldn't just lose one. I'd trade, and one of them would get through, and I wouldn't deck myself. So it's pretty crazy when you got so much card advantage that you want one of them to die. So, and a lot of times, like, they counterspelled one or they killed one, the next one dropped. So, always epic. And here's the best removal in the whole set. Mind Control. I passed a Platinum Angel for this Mind Control. So you can tell me what you think of that move. I thought I just paired them. You know, which one's better against each other. Mind Control wins. Mind Control your Platinum Angel. And I knew I had a Naturalize and a Plummet at that point. So I definitely had ways to get around the Platinum Angel. So I thought Mind Control was just a better choice. And then finally we had a Yavimaya Worm and a Dustdale Worm. The Nature Spiral got back Mind Control once, which was epic. It won me the game. The guy had like 35 life from one, that vampire, what's it called? Child of Night. And I had 2 before I stabilized the board. But because Nature Spiral Mind Control, when I did stabilize the board, I won that game. 35-2, and I won. Nice deck. Dustdale Worm came back with Nature Spiral one game and got cast the same turn. That's how much land in a 16-card deck these guys can work their magic and get you. Plus Crystal Ball when you need it, and 2 4Cs. And you know, Pack Leaders. Another awesome thing is, like, when I got 7 mana, 2 Pack Leaders out, and I drop a Spined Worm. He draws into a champion, and I drop a champion. Yeah, how about play a 3/2 Trampler, 5/4, and draw 4 cards? Go. Good game. So I bet everyone with this deck. The last round was really, really close. He actually made one mistake, and I could have. He might have been able to win that round, actually. But it was a great deck. I drew the worst against him. I never got a single early Llanowar Elf, or even one of my playset Rangers, except the 1 game out of the 3 against him where I slaughtered him. But like I said, I did end up winning in the end, and had a lot of fun with this deck. Yeah, basically drew lots of cards to the Pack Leaders, and 4C and Crystal Ball to make sure I got it. Sylvan Ranger meant I could play 16 land, which is pretty huge. You can tell by looking at the deck like this, you know, how it's like so much low. 1 3-drop and a bunch of high casting cost stuff, but it worked. You know, it's kind of the opposite of mid-range. I guess it has to be mid-range because there's low drops and high drops, and no in the middle drops. Kind of funny. But anyways, the deck worked really good. I like Ranger a lot, and I don't think people rate him high enough. At least where I draft, they don't. It just goes to show, though, you don't need a lot of removal to win. You just need card advantage. You know, sometimes that doesn't come in the form of removal. Sometimes it comes in the form of foreseeing into 2 big threats. So, again, I had 3 removal, and that fit the deck just fine. So, I hope you liked the deck, and I hope someone was interested by something I said. Take care. Happy drafting.